Oh yeah. 다 먼저 딩고 쳐야지. 깨지 마라. 오케이. 됐으면 합니다. 깨 진짜 못합니다. 다 내게 난다시. Little time. This last. Little. No, like that. No, this one, yeah. No. Down. Last. Little. Ups. No, this one. Last. Oh, little. Okay. Little. Okay. Now it's okay. Okay, right. Oh yeah. 다양去年些这个也送葬，俺古龙也不开个，开节目来，这里送葬，他去哪里呀？他那朗诵嘛，说的，俺开始听说那一点，假设他们那就马边了，家里他们那就用我的啥那一件呢？俺上级确实宁波，垃圾做那么松，家里有人点我说，俺你这夏天就是年纪怎么了？俺听了，怎么了？公路要不去看路有的。
So we are
Yes.
we're about to listen to the Dharma. Please generate a positive motivation. So today I'm going to continue teaching on the three principal aspects of the path. And so those three principal aspects, these are the essence of Buddha Dharma.
What happened here? Okay. That is about Kasang here. Kasang Kanitela, and Hoa Chok in the Sanda, Tabachok in the sense, your Nichin, your demons, Bemasiki, Chamuchang, Tinanita, Tanda, Monso, Tabachok in the Sandela, Hiene, and Taba de Sedela, Nintuji Tiba, Rajaji Tiba, Tijini Tibas and Tibasum, Tirela Lamma, the Yoga, Tisandi, and Jimandova, Hingua, the Becky Chamuris.
So yesterday I spoke about the division of the side of samsara and the side of liberation. So this division into two. And today then also we're going to talk about the side of liberation. So this is the liberation, we can think of it further divided into three. So three different vehicles. The healer vehicle, the solitary realizer vehicle, and the great Mahayana vehicle. And then within each of those vehicles, each vehicle has its own 5 paths. So this is something we definitely need to know.
Tati Kana Kasingamonza, Jibusum, Sijamas, Jibusum, on the Jibuchumu, Jibuning, Jibuchamos. This of the Manso Teso and Jibuchumu to Yakarima, Jibuning to Yakarima, Jibuchimbi to Yakarima, this of the Yanjo temperature.
So then also yesterday I spoke about 3 types of individuals. So the middling, the small, middling, and great types of individuals. So, what happened?
Microphone not working.
Is it working?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe we lost the
Yeah, lost the
battery.
battery. Battery can't. Yeah.
Here, under the one there, no?
This is not you. It's not good. One. Yes. They have battery.
It is for one button.
Not this one.
Which one? There's-
New
Do I need a microphone?
have
Yeah, then, I don't know, but then people need to hear it in the computer.
Yes.
Coaches.
Can't hear you.
Sabbath here, the cautious. Pekam here.
What kind?
Midway,
kind of
Sabbath
like this.
midway.
Kaçı window?
Catch.
What kind of button is she?
Let's go. This Sabbath here.
No?
Uh-huh.
Yes?
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Okay, so I just finished that translation. So yesterday Geshe-la spoke about the three types of individuals. So the small, middling, and great types of individual. So again, we need to remember what kind of thinking they have, the way they think, and their destinations.
Oh yeah. Give so here.
Mhm.
Give chumu, give thing how to young on this. Oh yeah, that ne. Teshiya chen tang zu beshanan ma trovina. Kasang tipa ndorwa. Kadetera tawi jenya sen chu kandis nyengu yome. Tipa de la here. That ring nanda nginju me pa senso ye. Dende tuni hevi temela sala kamba ye he lejena. Kunin chung ye toma nginju zara sa tike tang zu nginjung xiangchu ji sen yang dabi dawa sun ki nani eni nginjung jie kubi jumsen di xie yores.
So now we're going to go into the text. And so yesterday we finished on the second. We finished on the second verse, and the last line of this verse reads, "Fortunate ones, listen well with a clear and open mind." So now moving on to verse number 3, and that reads, "Whilst lacking pure renunciation, there is no way to pacify the continual thirst for pleasure in the ocean of samsara. And since all living beings are bound by their craving for existence, you must begin by finding the determination to be free." So out of the three principal aspects of the path, which are renunciation, the mind of enlightenment, and the correct view, this verse is talking about the need, the reason to generate renunciation.
Tate nanda nginjung me pa senso ye se zamala ta namba taba ani nguni ki nginjung di mewi yina ani saba kowe ki so telepa tabi ki ani devi ki dribu ani tawa tubi ki tab yo mara yes lang yar. Dribu mara nganso ki nganso lo kargu ki yore ani kowa telepa tabi ki ani dunga 탐지를 들이기 대화적으로 열어 아니 뒤트비게 탑치는 요 말했어 딱 양답비기 민중지 매비나
So then the first line of this verse I read again. "Whilst lacking pure renunciation, there is no way to pacify." So what this is talking about is that if we do not have the true, the genuine renunciation, then there is no method that we can find which actually gets us out of the ocean of samsara.
지상은 남주 스파 코아스네랑 코아디 장소 침범면서 oceans 텔라파 베세가 줍스나 죽거니 때 장소 침범 되게 나로라 먼저 딱 코아디 장소 침범으로 지는 딱 디나로라 먼저 대대교레스 근데 정말로 딱 텔레파 타네 아니 tipo dewa yoba ki saja telapa ki rogu dona ta tini te jamso tenula dendo meba jeni ani tele jamso mayimba ta kamsa lagwa tini saja jela ani dendo meba jeni ani telapa rogu yores ta te tela dendo meba majena tinanola mantuni dede yorwa tela dendo meba jena ani telepa tabiki tabhi jeni 아니 잠수 전부 들파 타니 아니 사실 제보 들려라 야 대사 용어로 봐서 어디나인지 자기요레스
So this which we call samsara or cyclic existence, so the analogy which is used for that is a great ocean, so cyclic existence being like a great ocean. So at the moment we are living, staying in this great ocean, and in order for us to be free from that, in order for us to go to a place where we have happiness, and delight and so on, then we have to stop attachment to that, to samsara, to cyclic existence. Otherwise, if we continue to generate attachment and craving towards the cyclic existence, then we will continue living here, continue cycling here. But if we cut it, then we will have a way to go towards a happy place.
진짜 딱 무슨 코아 텔레파 타네 타비히 대화 따때 리브노 저 리저르노 차기로 아니 덴데 먼저 덴드니에서 먼저 대구도 이 땡겨로 덴데 데비히 했더니 리브 덴드냐 와서 다 히와서는 다 되게 아니 레다 뉴모 마찬가지 파파네 레다 뉴모를 히와 텔라테니 아니 강에 동안 참아 파 히와 대다 타바사 되세요.
So therefore, if we if we stop the craving towards cyclic existence, the result of this is going to be a happiness of liberation. So this is the result, the outcome of us stopping that craving. So this is why we should strive for happiness, for the result of that. So then we then also abandon afflictions, and then through that the suffering also ceases, and this is what we call liberation.
제가 대화라 시 태멜라 다 태멜라스 정말라 아니 민중기 삼바데 메비나 딘디 코아트 동안이 파타비기 혀와 타비기 대화티 아니 타비기 타비기 잠바지 요 말이스 딘디 잠바다 민중이 빼면서 개첨벌 예슬라게.
So therefore, in the verse, it speaks of there is no way to pacify. Without having a genuine thought of renunciation, there is no way for us to attain liberation, to be free from samsara.
다데젤라 슬라 깜바이히 르제놈 꾸닌칭 히르사 제자말라 따티리 슬라스는 스방 코아텔라 디 깜바사텔라 데차르히베 깜차슬라 제자게 스방 코아히 나게 추 데송라 아니 맞죠 데차제네 텔라테네 아니 르젠스리 따 코아트는 코데기 신제트스라고 됐는데 근데 갈라워서나다 먼저 서방 코아티 나게 네 주다트로 리야라서 비게 큐트스라 되차지 아니 텔라테네 아니 레사 텔라테네 아니 먼저 코아티를 바탐주네 아니 칭스 잠말라 저 군인 칭시를 쓰자마 아니 자완로 지게 수징니 실로라 밤마다네 아니 신디기오레스
쌤이래.
아
쌤.
말해 셈마다 군인 저 가르사
군의 친.
군인 칭에를 가르사 레다 녀모니
아,
대나니 스반데차
So then the third and part of the fourth line read, since all living beings are bound by the craving for existence, you must begin by finding determination to be free. So existence, craving for existence, so desiring existence. So this is talking about us being attached to phenomena. And living beings, here precisely in Tibetan she says embodied beings, so those are all sentient beings. So what happens is we get attached to the pleasures, to cyclic existence, and then through that we accumulate karma and afflictions, and then through them then we are bound to the existence through karma and afflictions. Just like the last verse say, we are being bound through those two existence.
sala kambaye lejena konin chin share state junsen kade ane leda nimongwan ki ngonso khoatelen chinde yores ta deni songza sta toma tela ninjung zal sidi zamala ngonso sepa khoatela pa tagu dona kange de dunga gugi minduna toma tela ngonso hinje minje ninjung de kandis jepundo ane te jebe takhi tsonde zene ane ninjung jepu reesen ta desungores.
So this verse is actually giving us, the last two lines are giving us a reason. So we are bound to cyclic existence by karma and afflictions. And so then if we want to be liberated from that, if we don't want to suffer, then we have to generate the thought of renunciation.
Tati jila danjoniga tsela nome ba yela kumbi tsende dangxie do lende molon kobi dunga no yanyasa no himi nangxie do osa o tati ke tsende nangxie do ba tang himi nangxie do ba sa tati nide pe masi ke chimu chagi yoresa tsende tsendi nangxie stena do nangxie samta nangxie shasi tsendi nangxie do ba tang tse himi nangxie do ba sa de.
Verse 4 reads, the freedoms and advantages are rare, and there is no time to waste. Reflect on this again and yet again, and dispel attachment to this life. To dispel attachment to your future lives, contemplate repeatedly the unfailing effects of karma and the sufferings of samsara. So in this verse, this life, attachment to this life, and attachment to the next life, this is what's important.
Tadada tenwa tenjoni kaas ta kasengos tosi yore tawaji jaba chusan dine yores tine tsamba ta lamrin yotian tsambala ta lamrin ki tomatela ane tenjoni kasamba asane tawaji jaba chusan tindi ki tsangdingi ki lutende pe ni kabores kale ni kala pe mase kala kabo yores sese ane danjo ngonso wada tene teni kawa yimba ta ten chemo yimba asane o tene samhiyar danjo sa dawa japa cho tsangite tambo tsa chemo yimba te ngonso yores 대 아니 배니 갈카고 요레스 아니 대 되나 아니 단 첨부세 단주 탑디 되나 아니 먼저 단다 첨부 효드 등이 르데 차도 요레스 텐디스 요레스 대배 기침 차가 요레스
단보디 무엇이야? 니파
님바데 터카와
저카와
터카와 니카와 숨바데 단 첨부니 봐
So the freedom and advantages, this I already spoke about yesterday. So these are referring to the 8 freedoms and 10 advantages. And this is the precious human body that's endowed with those 8 freedoms and 10 advantages. So obtaining that precious human body, like in the verse says, this is very hard, very rare. There are 3 stages of contemplating, of thinking about it. First is to recognize that we have attained such a state. Then the second one is to think that this is very hard to attain. And then the third one is to know the meaning, the purpose of it.
다 담보 단종을 소마사디 아니 다와지 접어주사들이 요래 뜻인데 다 샤서 너는 먼저 찾아 말아. 근데 아니 취도하라. 아니 뒤쳐서는데 롱콩이야 봤을래. 취두이 거기야 봐. 아니 수소분이 창고가다. 아니 힐로니 창고비게 아니 접라서 지야. 다서 참아 참네. 댕이게 르딘 미 르딘데 마시바 아니 토칼레코 요레스. 근데 딘디 다와지 접어주상 르딘데 인지 미팅은 중요성을 제네 대 어른단 첨부 이마 현고레스.
거나가나 담보디 하고
그래. 담보가. 다와지 접어주상 해서 딘디 르딘데 다 말에 갈라고. 다와스디 잠말 취두비 거기야 봐. 텔라 텔레도 취두비 거기야 봤으나 이거 왔다. 마도 대 취두비 롱콩이야 봤어요. 근데 이게 간다게 텔레와 모콩파히 네 텔레서 타르네 아니 취두비 거기야 봐라시는 거. 아니 저파스디 소소로 창고가 나도 힐로니 창고가 나요. this 참아디 찬디비케 르텐데 아니 배자체 모레스 다디 만소기 단다 탑디요레스 딜리 잠발라티 자체 모이마데 만소 모히 바체네 아니 데케체 모이마 사모탄고레스.
So first, in terms of how we recognize it, so the 8 freedoms, what this is referring to is that we have now freedom to practice the Dharma, we have that leisure. And then the advantages, those are 10. Those are further divided into 5 from the side of self and 5 from the side of others. But generally this is being free being free from unfree states. So now the precious human body endowed with those 8 freedoms and 10 advantages, this is something very rare, very precious. So now we have obtained it, and it's very important that we know that we recognize it.
다 사진님한테 니카와스. 다 니카와스 유이고니 니카와. 그래서 다 아주 딘류를 된데 딘리 톡칼레하고 가르치느래 라자말라 디토야라 다유 배야부터 보여레스. 대유데 먼저 배 드롭칼레하고 차이요레스. 그러니까 대세겨 수준 넘어탑이 예수 뭐나 드마메 참자스들 간다게 먼저 미르딘 토와라 아니 미기죠 봉기 수준이야 지수 델라테네 아니 멘페지 레사 델라테네 아니 먼저 미자와레 토바 대마제페게 대단냠들라 아니 야 이마가 수준나 조발라스페게 마보치시 냠레체네 아니 먼저 리데 야부치 터터 여름아도 그래서 지마차나 야부차기 말했어.
So then the second outline in terms of the precious human body is the difficulty of obtaining it. So this we can consider based on a cause. So for us to actually attain this body, we need a very good cause, a reason for it to attain it. And this is said that we actually need to have a very good conduct, a very good, guard our moral discipline. And then based on that moral discipline, we practice the other perfections, so patience and so on. Without it, there's no way to attaining this precious human body.
Ta nganzu yabo chi sala tamina. Nganzu tong de sana lola. Ta mi tang zamulu ti chibo chiwina mi tang ane mi mayin biki tundro xiamba da pa dur yawina. Nganzu med pe nyunyu chadi yores.
So if we really think about it well, if we think about our earth, there are many animals here and human beings. Compared to the animals, human beings are very little in number.
Nganzu zamulu tela tung xio liro bilin je ina chi yarwa. Timate yamare zamulu tela. Ta tini xenda mbusin ro, ta yakan ro chasana, ta mbu chunjo ta kande mambu yores. Ani pa chue nangla ta nyan ro han sanya mambu yores. Ta teso da pa degi na nganzu med penyunyu chadres.
So on this earth, there are about 8 billion people, and compared to that number, how many bugs, for example, there are, how many fish and other beings in the oceans, in the water. So compared to all those beings, the number of people is very little.
Ta nganzu toya tong tengi, ani yida sino nyawa sa teli maa yores leres.
And then the beings who we do not see with our eyes, so the hell beings, the hungry ghosts, and so on, those are many.
Ta kasi nganzu mi yinbi yina ya. Ani tagin joba chusa di nalola. Ani sanjin jitenji kansu pene, degi chu sun yaba, chu tasu nyamano de yaba. O dili chi ngure sun yor. Dili zambala, ta sanji ki chu masungi ki chu chini mepa ki dili ki ya dusu rinpo xio yor. Dili kasala mi jawa lendengi tasu di te tawaji joba chusa tasu tsangi yomar. Chizan dili ki tsu durni kale tsu diri yina. Ani nganzu tawaji joba chu tsangi sa nyunyu mata yomares.
And then even if we were to attain this existence of a human being, still for this to be regarded a precious human life, there's other conditions. So the Buddha has had to have come on this earth, taught Buddha Dharma. The Buddha Dharma and the teachings need to be remaining on this planet and so on. So we can imagine that there is long times when there is no Buddha Dharma on this earth. So then there is no way of attaining the precious human rebirth endowed with 8 freedoms and 10 advantages.
제자다 tindi 단진 조주 참여히 밀르데 아니 니 가와이 마사디 디리 다 tindiki 니 대야데 아니 대 첨부이 마사디 그래서나 다 디칸라 딱 먼저 미사데 아니 삼라야부 다요레스 미다 수수 란도치니 세로아 라야카리마 도야카리마 디 수수 라마다 게게산마니 니야야바 아니 니네야 수수 삼라다야바 아니 주 니야 뜻은 냠내지야바 다 아니 도와서 파파야서 파파야바 근데 랑도르 진지 비게 미 남겨사지 여바이 손자 되니 디 토라 아니 고아 텔레파 답이 공부 탑타야 대만 텔리 총나연 산지 공부 탑타야기 되니 먼저 칼라고르 레디 토니 드럽타야 들 연구 요레스 디 손자 아니 레디 대참으로 예스라 요레스.
So then this precious human body endowed with 8 freedoms and 10 advantages, this is very difficult to obtain. Now from the third outline, from the great meaning of attaining this precious human body, this gives us an opportunity to listen to the Dharma, to know what to abandon and what to adopt, what to practice, listen to our teachers, put that into practice, and through that abandon suffering, and then through that get liberated from samsara. So in this very human body, we can then attain the state of Buddhahood. This is why it is so precious and important.
안에 제가 먼저 추중이게 제외는 매일 된데 야휴레스 라요레스 르데 참아나네.
So it is said that the precious human body is the best vessel to practice Buddha Dharma.
그래서 다 뭐한테 전에 답이 힘감라 자와쇼서 뭐한테 얘기요레스 얘네야 먼저 대화진지 비긴 감사 되게 영이 이제 딱 미생활 하듯하게 아니 주야 본다고 댕이듯하게 미 자발을 마셔서 수망한 적이 요레스 레요레스 미 자발을 마셔서 내가 주야 본다야 요레스
So we actually pray, may we be reborn in a Pure Land. So for example, in Sukhavati. But actually the beings who are there, the gods who live in those Pure Lands, they pray, may I be reborn as a human being.
The Jimsekara's Mila is Gange the Dunge Desiarwa. Gange the Dunge Yapateki, Karping Lana, Ninju Javala, Ninju Jelil Havana, Ninju Javala, Pendo Yorel.
So why is that? It's because us as humans, we actually experience suffering, difficulties to a certain extent. So this actually helps us to generate the thought of renunciation.
근데 강에다 동행에 휴체모다 되네 매비나 아니 고아는 예쁘면 용하지니 아니 다른게 뒤서 남인스레로 왔더니 가니 아니 도대게 요레스
So then if there isn't that experience of very strong suffering, then like in those realms, the gods and stuff, they continue to be there in samsara, just being idle, just doing nothing.
This one?
This one.
Oh, this just a lot this one, you to stick yours like yours.
And therefore, it's more difficult for those beings like gods to generate the thought of renunciation. Because they do not have suffering like us human beings. So therefore, the suffering and difficulties that we have actually helps us in our Dharma practice.
Okay. Oh yeah. That dijila telanza tanjuni gas that tamate mache. That then celanome pass. That then cemita pass. 제가 땅한테 다기게 대하기 다바지 저버지 상에 레데 야버지 터디오레스 아니 대배 자쳐버레스 디토라 된다 쳐버려요레스 이내야 대 미타바레스 제가 대리 자말라 아니 먼저 주문이 동해지나 아니 저만 바빠사마사디야 개쳐버셔레스 요레스.
So then the freedoms and advantages are rare. And then the second half of this line reads, and there is no time to waste. So what this is referring to is the impermanence of life. So we have obtained the precious human body. We know that this is very precious. and then it has great meaning. However, it is impermanent. So then it's very important for us to actually consider that thought of impermanence.
다데서지 잠발라 아니야 소미요레 치와 마다 삼바 남친 이미 삼바 치에체 추마도 관계야 메펜바 삼바사 숨 기소 니번 치와 삼바 니번 디신루레스라
Yes.
니마데 아니 가디신루하고 말스 남친 이미 삼바 계시 희소나 당은 추지는 되게 편도야나마도 현다 강해야 편도야 말스
The temple didn't.
디송
이거는. I'm sorry. I need to clarify.
담보 니번 치와 삼바
Yes.
된데서
Dixon.
님바디 남친 이미 삼바 가디신루하고 말스 님바 somebody 희소나 추마도 현다 강행 말스
That's all. So then within this impermanence, sort of impermanence, we divide this further into three contemplations. So first is the certainty of death, death is certain. Second one, the time of death is uncertain. And third, at the time of death, nothing else will be of benefit but dharma practice.
그래서 딴데 먼저 하고 사는 다음에는 배 레라고 하고 되어렸어. 답변은 먼저 넘블린라 단답받을 미카시 몸부처데 힘으로 속한지 돼요 말았어. 근데 정말 아니 먼저 네바디 힘으로 다쳐서랬어.
So actually, it's quite easy to think about these outlines. So, for example, now in the Earth, on the planet Earth, how many people there are, and how many of them will still be alive? Yes.
미싱이 속게 돼요 말래.
Nishida.
미싱 힘에 봐 속한지 돼요 말았어. 제 딩월로 미카시 몸부처사.
How many people have actually already come here, were alive on this planet before us, right?
아니, 리사라? 어야. 제단 드니 zaman 먼저 네바히안 다쳐서랬어. 먼저 힘으로 다쳐서랬어. 마음바나.
So in the future, it's certain that also we will pass away.
다 가디 대안에 가디 힘으로 하고야지 해야 말았어.
But we don't know when that time will come.
그래서 해서면이나 아니 로봇 정모요 아니 조penjo요 가려야나야 제 팽만에서 로봇이사요 말이 잘라 캔어요 말이 배샤가시는 캔어요 말았어.
And when that time comes, our friends, our wealth that we have been accumulating, none of this will be of help.
다 펜토아지데 기포데 아주 주 야버지 제여나 아니 띵은주 생땡 바차샤니 티 아니 저시마 캔로 그랬어 라기오레스.
So he said that at that time, actually, the only thing which will help, which will be of benefit, will be how well we've cultivated our mind and our dharma practice.
제자게다 단데 티스기어. 저 다시 봐. 니번 쳐와 삼바스 니번 체리 삼레스. 아니 가디신로 하고 말해서 남친 힘이 삼바스. 아니 신르 가슬라 추만도 현다 강이야 핑계 말에 삼네. 다조 갈로거스는 대삼네. 아니 먼저 추 저번저번 dro고 요레사들.
So then, first, we think of the certainty of death. Then we think of that we actually do not know when that time is going to come, that it's uncertain. And then third, that things like other things, friends, wealth, and so on, will not be of benefit at that time, apart from the Dharma practice. And through thinking this way, then we realize that we actually need to practice the Dharma quickly.
다디와라 아니 얘라 건비 첸데 나히 또 오슬라노 다티니 다와지 이저바죠 사미 레텐데 톡하고 임바 된첨모 임바 대삼 디강라 아니 시루레스 처음부터 삼바 대삼의 단에 간주 체티사리 비퉁퉁 very short 제 뚱뚱지만데 야마르스 근데 잠발라 아주 제대로 해외지 아 낭시에서란다데 낭시를 좀 제대로 저런 거 쇼 대기 삼비게 제 다딩도 제대하다 아니 제대로 괜찮았네 이거 같은데 아 해외지 개요 말에서 근데 좀 센데서 해외지레면도 딜레야 제대로 희망이는 희망 개침보를 샤사 다 조지 대용고레스
So then the second line of this verse reads, reflect on this again and yet again, and dispel attachment to this life. Going back to the first line, so the precious human life, we now know that this is very difficult to obtain. And then that the time of death is uncertain and that I will certainly at some point pass away. And then the time that we have actually in this life is very short. So then something we shouldn't waste, and we then should actually thinking that dispel the attachment, dispel thinking, clinging to this life, and then focus on the next life, which is more important.
근데 첸데 달라 현참이야 진짜 쳇때도 희망이 나네 희망이 개체모예마 근데 중앙지 희망 개체모티야 아니 체마 사람이 공부한지 토나 삼바 디트비체도라 아니 메선체 등에 근데 좀비에나 딱 가서 해되는 집 주무 아니 체바진 생이 자기 요레스
So then once we realize that the next life is more important than this one, and we strive to attain the level of human beings or gods in the next life, then this becomes the way of thinking for the individual of a small capacity that I discussed yesterday.
Okay, then that 좋아요. 나눠놨어.
If you have any questions, please ask.
난다시
No
좋아요.
questions so far, Geshe-la.
아,
No questions so far.
why? You don't listen?
I do listen.
Oh. 아니,
I don't think Geshe-la that I debate.
You don't
No.
listen.
I debate that.
okay, debate.
I debate that
Right.
it's a low capacity being who wants to be incarnated next life as a god in the god realm. Because I know that there are many, for example, in Theravada we say many sublime beings. Their last rebirth actually is in the god realms because they can actually become enlightened there, fully enlightened. In the god's realm, it's much easier, and there's a lot of Dharma teachings going on because of many beings who are arahats and almost arahats there. So actually, I don't think it's a small capacity being who wants to. What if I'm striving for enlightenment, but this lifetime, I'm not getting there. So like I should just give up and become like a turtle next, or like a bull, or like a crocodile. Like I'd rather be, God realm next life. It gives me some sort of advantage, as opposed, I am praying for full enlightenment, but I know I'm not gonna be there. I better to pray for something, tangible, like maybe I can be I can be La. Maybe I can be La. I like it, the idea. I debate.
아니, you debate. 아니, 그거가 아니.
Well, I don't understand your question fully.
The question is that, how can you think about it as a low capacity? It's pretty high motivation. Kunlong page. So, yeah, say, lai.
사카레.
Чему чумно консуани никилти 미세 제마 제와 제마라 아니 라야나 미 코판토비아 디레 아니 티 가르치는 중노 디레 라티요레 중노 뭐랑나디 중노 말에
다 좀 가르치는 라게 그랬으나 다 찍을 뛰니 샤고라. 전부다 충충세야데 small is big, it's dependent.
Mm.
Not big and not small. It's small is dependent, it's big. You know, this small is middle, big means is thinking, is capacity. There's a jibi chambo is big capacity. And the jibi chungo is small capacity. The dependent jibi chambo. Hakaso, jibi chung sa the chambo la duni yongu yarwa. Chambo mina and chung yamara. Nothing. Not big and not small. This dependent. 제가 집이 중요사디 아니 집이 전부는 집은 링나 뛰디 중중리 라기야도 그 중중리에서 그 독자리 드리게 라기야 말 상업도나 게 지중요로.
So this is talking, everything depends on each other. So in this context, small depends on big, and big depends on small. So small actually also depends on the middle one. Without it, we cannot say something is small or big. But it's not saying that this type of thinking is bad or negative. It's just putting into perspective.
제상게 집이 중요 집은 링 집이 전부서도 상업 자체 형관이 희해라서.
So therefore, those three types of individuals, small, middling, and great, this is depending on the vastness of their thinking.
집이 중요 가사돼서 게 아니 세대다 심한이 나니 심한 좋지. 심한이야지 저와 심한 하다미 공부하나 삼아 디니제레디야 와서. 디니 하다미 공부하더니 고아 나로마도 고아를 봐 타비게 상어디 여만 왔죠. 디 아니 집이 링 가사 되게 삼바다 집이 집이 가사기 삼바라 durna 아니 중화차디 요레스.
So a small individual thinks about next life and attaining the state of humans or gods. These states are still within the samsara, and this type of individual does not think of getting out of samsara. So this is why it's called small in compared to thinking of the middling individual.
세상에 아니 집은 링 사티 야 집이 중물로 뛰디 도스 첨보로 뛰디 아니 그 중앙에 있어서 그 링하시 야도 왔을 상록이 제바시야 도스.
So then the middling level individual, their way of thinking is a little bit higher, vaster than the small level individual.
다들 집이 중국의 더야 하다미 공방사죠. 하다미 공방디 좀 코아기 나니 더야 야로 차디오레스. 이내야 탑이 공방다 늘나 야고 누가 차디오레스.
So then the destination of the small being, the states of gods and humans, in samsara, those are the best states. But there is yet no thinking about the state of liberation.
제가 딘디 차네 아니 집이 중로서 이게 놓았어.
And this is why we call it the small level individual, small capacity.
아니 저쪽에 갈수야 있다.
What would you like to debate about?
Yeah, but you still can think, oh, I'm going to be enlightened, but but I still want to be in the God realm next life. You can combine both, Nika. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the question.
하이 공부하나 아니 같이.
You have intention of full enlightenment, but you still hope to get reborn in a God's realm. But you still can have the intention.
Sangyegi kopandi tobyagi rewa ye de sanu tam chetu tendis cheya yore inayam sejemala la kopandi tobyagi malayam yapudu de sanu tam ditigi marpe.
되게래서 제장게 집이 채모사데 상원당나 저시마 하고마 토고만도 미고마 토만 든디 팅고 봐라. 디 시작. 근데 싸움 땅고 말해. 쟤는 향추지 셈냐네 쟤네 저하시면 하이 공방나 더고 쌍고 말해. 미 공방 더고 쌍고 말해. 향추지 셈된 것은 냐네 쟤는 지비치면 잘라. 향추지 셈 줄라 여는 저랑 나냐와 제기라는 제기요 말했어. 하드미 공방 더 무글라나 저랑 더 this 배송 그런 뭐예요 말.
So yeah, it's this isn't the way of thinking. It's not that the individual who strives for enlightenment, who generates the enlightened mind, it's not like they don't think, oh, I don't want to be reborn as a god or a human, right? It's not that way.
저 컷지 투인서다. 그래서 나 집이 충을 강사되게 하더니 공부 던데 요래 집이 전부든 딩인데 여 말에서 놓지 고에서 들리 말다. 집은 딩다 집이 전부 얘기를 하더니 공부 더고래. 이나야 대참슬레도 왔다. 하더니 공부 터는 리서리 섬데 디 강을 살람 땅에 딘데질 집이 충을 삼으려고 그러마도 하더니 공부 집이 전부든 딩 더고 말이라고 말.
So it's not like that the small scope individual's way of thinking is separate to those of the middling and the great capacity individuals. They also think, I need to attain this, but they think this is not enough, right? So it's not like that, it's so segregated.
지금 유도 장방 공부 때가 나요. 년주 남는 도지지. 토리 남는 랍다. 가시메 반덴지비 장주 세마 찬산 올라. 대 가르슬로고 하잖아. 장주 센지 줄을 제스야나. 다 냐와 예다 등로마 제알나사기 고참아 까시네라. 아니 토리 남는 랍다라서데 저시마 하도미 공부한들라 소소 매선케 고마리 계시 희소에는 하도미 공부 토아 이 말이야. 하도미 공부 토브리스 매선 제고 말했어. 향주생이나 오다 향주생 팽이고 향주생이나 년도로마 지금 말에 년도에 고참아 까시 그래라. 하도미 공부한들라 매선 고 말에 톱토 그래라. 아니 디칸라 아니 간로에서나 레다 뉴모왕게 제무고와 힘이고와 아니 상지지 고마토도 그래서 근데 향주센 자체모래라.
So actually it's said in Arya Manjushri's praise to Arya Manjushri that
민주시르만다 아야메티아
Arya Maitreya that so when we generate the mind of enlightenment, bodhicitta, that through doing that, it closes the doors to the lower realms, hell beings, pretas, and animals. And then it's certain that one will attain the higher rebirth of gods or humans, but there's no need to strive for it. It's just one will be reborn. And then through continuous practice, through abandoning karma and afflictions, then one will attain the level of Buddhahood. So this is the power of the mind of enlightenment.
아니 자.
For example, my reflection about the idea is no more suffering and try to get the illumination for no more life and born. The cycle of samsara. So Tsongkhapa advise us no more cycle, life and born. Yeah, that advice Buddha Tsongkhapa in the text.
Okay.
Yeah. My English is not so good, but
It's okay.
so this advice why why the personality very high, like for example, His Holiness Dalai Lama, why he not do it?
So you're talking particularly about this verse that we read today, yes?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because Geshe-la say speak about the no more attached with the samsara, no more try to live suffering and try to practice Buddhism and try not for live the cycle life and born, the cycle of samsara.
Yeah.
My question is why don't do it His Holiness Dalai Lama?
Why he's still here? 아니 이제 성가버디 나누라 시작하디 나누라 very question. 아니 calcola sognadire corwe ciappa di pangore. Yina yang consa ciò che ora Rinpoche conta d'un visualiore.
오케이. 아니 단대초 된 건서 인중제 사저라. 대 인투지 테바 란제지 테바니 인중이 삼바체니 코아텔라 덴데메니 코아텔리 파 타고도 삼아 용우야 휴치모. 이내야 상추 sembachi 이비나 야 지당하게 인중요다. 이내야 코란게 인지 전부다 상추지 생겨 왕게 아니 코아티나라 데네 선쟁이 던두기 셈비 생효도 용화를 너무 대처라.
So this verse is talking about the generation arising the thought of renunciation, and this is primarily in the context of the foundational vehicles, so the hero vehicle and the solitary realizer vehicle, because they strive to be liberated from the cycle of existence. Now, beings like bodhisattvas, they primarily through the power of their great compassion and the mind of enlightenment, they are reborn here to help sentient beings.
다 산제다 상추스 맞다서게 선쟁이 던두기를 담발라 다 선쟁나라 전에 마교가지네 아니 패소나 아니 선쟁이 던두사 야마라스.
So if Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, because they strive to help sentient beings, yes. So if here there are still beings who particularly suffer, and if they just go away, then this is not correct.
One cannot help all other beings.
Cannot help other beings. Isn't it like that?
I have more questions, but we don't have time.
It's okay.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Right, now it's finished. It's time. It's okay. And tomorrow is continuous, okay? Yeah, okay. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, now it's finished.